Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Mash and Drum Whiskey Room Whiskey Wednesday night. And we have a killer live stream tonight because not only am I doing this crazy $30 bottle and under blind tasting that we suggested last week. I told you guys that I like the idea, haven't done that in a while, so here we are. Why not? So many expensive bottles coming out these days. Let's see if anything has changed for me. Is my palate the same? Is it a little different? Will Wild Turkey 101 still be my favorite? I don't know. We'll have to see how that shakes out. Wild Turkey 101 is not in tonight's lineup because these were all chosen randomly because I have like 32, 33, something crazy. I have like 30-something bottles total for this kind of, $30 and under tournament, which we're going to be doing over the next few weeks. Should be a lot of fun. But I also wanted to taste through this bottle right here. I got the brand new Sagamore 10-year. This bottle, I'm about to record a review. This week's been nuts for me. I haven't really been able to edit anything this week, so my apologies for that. Just been a little bit nuts with work and everything going on here. It's just been a little crazy. So finally tomorrow I get to sit down and do a bunch of content, which I'm really excited about, including the Sagamore 10-year, which I haven't cracked open yet, but I will crack open tonight. So let's see. Jason can't possibly be drinking 15 shots of cheap bourbon tonight, can he? You know it, Jeff. I'm a trained professional. I don't know if I'm trained or professional, but I'm just going to say it. I'm interested to hear how this video does. I've debated getting back to the roots of value bottles, but worried they won't get the views allocated bottles get. Bourbon Retriever, I could tell you right now, they are not going to get the review. They're not going to get the views that the new kid on the block always gets. It's just part of the deal. Matt Robinson coming in with the $5 super chat. Great to see a value pour competition. Yeah, I think so too. I think, you kind of get burnt out, especially around this time of year. We just had Kentucky Bourbon Festival. There was a ton of bottles being thrown on secondary, which was a little bit nuts that I saw over the weekend. And it's just like, man, all these crazy heavy hitter bottles for $300, $400, $500. It's good to kind of revisit what's on the shelf. And really for me, I just want to see if this is an indication if my palate has shifted or not. Do I still like the bourbons on the lower side of the shelf that I still did before? So this should be really interesting. All of these should be pretty, I think, I don't know. There could be some that surprise my own palate. There might be a couple in here I haven't done in a blind like this, so we'll see how it does. But we're going to dive into this pretty soon tonight. We have 15 pours to go through, so I want to do this in kind of 2 rounds. While I do the first, rate those, and do my second, and then basically the top 4 from this 15 are going to move on to the next one. So the top 4 we'll pick, and we'll see how it goes. Robert says, "Thank you, Jason, for all you do. Much love. Keep it up." Thank you so much, Robert. Appreciate it. Hack on Max said, "I love this idea. You always forget these awesome $30 pours and makes you price adjust on buying sometimes." So yeah, for sure. I think everybody, it's nice to get a little bit of a level set. As much as we love the allocated new shiny bottle on the shelf, sometimes, it's nice to go back to the basics a little bit. Heaven Hill actually did something nice at KBF for general admission. On Sunday, they told VIP all VVS was gone and saved a couple hundred bottles back, only to sell to general admission. So happy to get one. Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I heard a lot of crazy things, especially on secondary market. We'll talk about that a little bit with KBF and a lot of the stuff that went down. But generally, I heard it was an amazing event, a lot of great bottles. But there are a few sour apples out there that are throwing out some false, I guess, false narratives, we'll call it, about certain bottles that were released that weekend. We'll get into that a little bit. So probably should hit the SAG 10 after the budget blind. You don't have a Ferrari around town and then drive up Geo Metro. I know. I just kind of want to get with a fresh palate. I want to taste this. I'll have a bunch of water. I drank a bunch of water before tonight. Had some chicken, potatoes for dinner. Nice protein heavy dinner, so I'm good to go, man. Let's get this started. First, let's say hi to folks. 96 Millie, man. Happy Wednesday. Haven't tried Early Times in a while. It fell off a little. Might have to revisit. I'm very curious to see how Early Times does tonight. That's one of the bottles where I do like it normally. I love that bottle. It's always been a great value bottle, but will it hold up still now that it's changed somewhat, slightly, a little bit, you know? So we'll see. Personally, my money is on the Old Forest 100 proof. It would probably be Cooper's. It would probably be Cooper's Craft Proof, but that's hard to find in my areas, over $30. Yeah, so Cooper's Craft 100 did not make the list because it's actually 35 here. I wanted to keep it 30 and under. Knob Creek 100, which is in it tonight, is like just at $30. So it's like literally 31. So I'm like, you know what? Let me put Old Forest 100. I feel like that's low enough to put in. Let's see. Mike Bertini's here. I have Milliman Green Under Bridge 118.3 proof in my Glen. Delicious. Awesome. David Paris is here. OGD 114. That is in this blind. Actually, no, it's not. Or is it? Is it next week? What is the, or is it the week after? I think that made the cut price wise. It did. It's $30 on the dot. So OGD 114. Next week's going to be tough. It's going to be tougher than this week. The way it shook out with picking bottles randomly, I think next week or the week after, whenever the second round happens, is going to be pretty epic. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Let's see. We got Danny Lynn. We got Aaron G. We got Tim Cornet. Actually, yeah, this is a great call out. Where did I see it? Jimmy 70th and glass. Yes. Jimmy Russell, guys, raise your glass to Jimmy. It's already been another year. 71 years. 71 years at Wild Turkey. Incredible, incredible. Jimmy Russell, the most legendary master distiller. Love you, man. Thanks for making great whiskey. Thanks for inspiring others to make great whiskey. I heard, yeah, I saw something somebody said about the Jim Beam Black. Here was Aaron G. for the win in this lineup. I'm really curious to see how Jim Beam Black 7 does because I liked it so much when I tried it on its own. So we'll see. We got a Tim Cornet. We got Patrick Grelick. What's going on, man? We got Hopke in the house. We got Mrs. EJ. What's going on, Mrs. EJ? Tim Jurgensen is here. Going to be a fun blind tasting for sure. We got Papa Stephen Wallace here. Sipping on the Sagamore 10-year himself. Love it. Rare Breed is here. Finally, a video I can afford to watch. David Smith is here. We got Brian Shrimp. Night Method in the house. We got A-Brod is here. Dr. Sped, a bit of Benchmark Foolproof. My favorite non-BTAC Buffalo Trace. That's in the lineup tonight. We'll see how that does. Mark Hoyle is here. James Lay with LFG, of course. Robert is here. We got West Virginia Whiskey. It's a Whiskey Wednesday. It is. Mauricio Pastanis is here. Evening, everyone. I see a couple of my under $30 faves. Joe the Sample Guy is here. Jeff Perkins, Anthony Locklayer, Motohead 77. Hope the 2 M&J Cat's Eye 11 Burai pickups drop Friday. They're not going to drop this Friday, but they'll be dropping maybe even next week. Motohead, and they're 12 years old, I think now. So, yep. John Farron, going to need a barrel proof for this show. Pork chop. John Legalvo, a lot of pours on the docket tonight. Big Vic's backyard is here. What's up, Vic? You big avocado. Brian Tripp is here. Let's see who else. Kenneth Clark. He's got the Old Forester 100. That's a big favorite. I got a lot of feedback already that says a lot of people think Old Forester 100 is going to win. Interesting. Matt Baytosh is here. Good evening, friends. Jack and Coke kind of night. Matt's Palace is here. Buffalo Trace store picks for the world. Adam Allen Cates, early times bottle and bond for me tonight. I love how everyone's getting into this and actually pouring some budget proofers, and you kind of forget how good they are, man. Phil is here. We got Manny Villanueva is here. What's up, Manny? Burn Retriever said hi to you. Randall Erickson, what is going on? Me and Randall Erickson kicked ass this week on the Dusty Dan Double Trouble Invitational blind tasting. 18 points. Nailed it, dude. Good job. Wade Ward is here. Adam Hinson. Reese Mash is here. Bob Glass. Charlie Diaz. He also says, let's go. James Morgan. And I'm just going to scroll down because I have to play catch up. I think I missed a super chat. We got Top Jimmy with the $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Mr. Toby. Toby, I appreciate the text you sent me earlier. Always good to hear from you. And yeah, can't say enough about what you're you're always thinking of me and Kim, and I appreciate you, man. Cardinals 121 is here. If this was whiskey in general, Mellow Corn would mop the floor. If this was whiskey in general, Mellow Corn would mop the floor. Should we add Mellow Corn in there next week? We could. If you guys, what say you in the chat? Should we just throw Mellow Corn in there and see how it does? I'm willing to do it. Why not? It's cheap. It's under 30. I know it's not technically bourbon, but we can see how Mellow Corn does. Hell yeah, I'm gonna make a note. Add mellow corn to blind. Yeah, shit, we're doing it. No mellow corn, says Diego G. Mellow corn would win too easily, says Nathan Jurgensen. Yeah, I'll add it just for fun. Who knows? We'll see how it does. You never know. No mellow corn. We have a couple of no's. I thought everyone would be a resounding yes. That's good. That is good. OGD 114 will be in it for sure. Yep. That one will be in it. See, I came in with the great idea, says Carl. Yeah, you did, man. You nailed it. Seeing Cardinals, I can't even talk about baseball. My New York Mets are so bad. I can't even watch them. They are horrendous. They either give up 100 runs and they can't pitch, or they score like 15 runs, but they have to score that much because their pitching gives up like 9 runs, and they have to score that much. Like they're the most they're consistently inconsistent, and they drive me crazy. Oh my God! Between the Mets and the Falcons, I'm gonna have a rough month, or a rough month here. It's gonna be rough. Falcons already lost their first game. Kicker missed the field goal at the end. Not saying that was the main reason, but at least we made it. Could have given us a chance against the Bucs, but geez, it was a crazy week in the NFL, man. Detroit didn't look good. The Chiefs looked off. Yeah, it was a weird week. That game, I don't see how Buffalo-Baltimore game on Monday night. Or was it Sunday Night Football? It was Sunday Night Football. That was the craziest. That was how does a game get better than that? That was nuts. I mean, sucks for Baltimore fans. But if you're a Buffalo fan, that was like, and not great for the Buffalo fans that left early. They left like early third quarter because they couldn't watch it anymore. They missed a hell of a comeback, man. Dude. Yeah, it was a great game. Come on, Jay. No Giants, Jets. Giants, I thought would be better, but I'm telling you, the Giants they're going to start Jackson Dart, man, sooner than later. They can only put Russ out there for so long to do nothing. I think once Jackson Dart starts, he might put a little juice in the team. We'll see what happens. Maybe they play a little better. So, all right, yeah, Colts looked great. I mean, Danny Dimes. Who knows though? That's one game. Let's see if he could keep it up. That's the thing with Danny Dimes. He could look unstoppable one game, and then he could just basically throw the ball into the crowd the next game. So we'll see. Yeah, Bears were not great. I mean, okay. So real quick, let's get into the Sagamore 10-year. Beautiful bottle, as always. 110.8 proof for this one. Now, this is 10 years, new charred oak barrels. This is their typical blend of low rye and high rye mashes blended together. Aged for 10 years. Maryland spring water added to it to cut it and I should say, to help age it. And there you go. Wilson looked decent, but got pressured all game. See you Sunday night. Skull. Oh, yeah. The Falcons got to play the Vikings this weekend, Sunday night, I think. And not looking forward to that because the Falcons can easily be 0-2. Sucks, man. Okay, let's get into this real quick. And then we'll take a lot of water, and then we'll dive into tonight's best bourbon, $30 and under blind. Oh, holy crap. Oh, that's so good. It smells like rye candy. I'm actually picking up some. It's like that grilled orange peel note in here. A little bit of melon. Man, that is. But I'm also getting like those dark fruits you get in Sagamore. It's like caramel glazed, like almost raspberry, a little bit. Like a bright raspberry, not a dark raspberry. There's like a tang to it a little bit. Man, the black tea is there. You get your rye notes. This is, from what I remember, it's coming off less fruity than the 8-year. I feel like the 8-year was an absolute like fruit bomb, which I thought was really good. Good news. The Falcons should end up better than Hawks Dolphins. Dude, the Dolphins, they should just go back in the ocean. That's bad. Yeah, I think the nose, from what I remember, might be better than the 9-year though. I don't know. I feel like the 8-year was fruit forward. The 9-year would had a little bit more of an oak push. This feels like it's the best of both worlds. All right, let's give it a try, guys. Cheers. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Appreciate you all. Here we go. Wow, it's so peppery in a good way. So peppery. What's a typical flavor profile progression with Sagamore 8 versus 9 versus 10? Matt, it's a great question. I haven't blinded all three of them yet or put them all head to head. I'm going to do that when I record the video tomorrow. So on that video, you'll find out. I think I'm going to record it tomorrow and drop it Friday. So hopefully you'll see it soon. Or you will see it soon, I should say. But yeah, for me, this is... Yeah, second sip like leans into almost like this raspberry mint type of note, especially on the back end before it gets into like that black white pepper, maybe even like the red peppercorn that you get. It has just a little a little bit more like twinge of heat and a little bit more of a I don't know. It's like a tangy spice. It's hard to describe. It's like fresh, crushed black pepper that they put in your pasta like a fancy restaurant. It's really good. Stella P says, is it sad that you're on our TV so much that I said to my husband, poor Jason during the game? Stella P, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but I appreciate you thinking about my feelings, especially during my sports teams. Stella, you're the best. Whoever your husband is, tell him he should buy you something nice because that's very sweet. See, now as you go in, it's getting more tangerine. I feel like that melon note is still there a little bit. Like a what's it called? Cantaloupe, like a cantaloupe note. It's actually drinking a little bit lighter than I thought too. But once it hits mid palate, all these spicy flavors just kind of explode. That is really good. Sagamore 10, just Sagamore Spirit in general, what they're doing with these 8, 9, and 10-year releases each year. I feel like the oak is a little bit more prevalent, but it's not as drying as I felt like it was in the 9. Again, I have to go back and compare. But so far, I feel like this is giving me like the best of both worlds between 8 and 9. And this is kind of what I was hoping for. Not saying, it will be. Oh, Jay Porter, that be this guy. Now I'm on the hook. Sorry, Jay Porter. Well, Jay, man, I mean, think of it this way: like you buy yourself something nice too, and then buy something for her, and be like, hey, I'm gonna get this for me, and then this is for thinking of Jason during while his team was getting shit on. There you go. Justin, yeah, I have had the new 13 Colony Cask Rye Shelfer yet, and I think that's one of the best ryes I've had this year, hands down, for sure. What's up, Bourbon Nut? Do you think Sagamore MT made spirits will be better than the current MGP? I think so, considering that the younger stuff, their Ball and Bond whiskey that they release, is their own stuff, and it's pretty damn delicious. So we'll see how it ages up, but I think it's going to be pretty on par. Yeah, Adam Hinson, sorry about that. I was an old school San Diego Chargers kid, so I understand letdown and misery. Yeah, dude. Early times Ball and Bond 1 liter, $13.95 here in Miami. Hard to beat. Damn, $13.95. Yeah, this is getting better as it just sits in the glass, airs out a little bit. I think I'm actually gonna let this air out a little bit, leave the cork open for a little while before I do my full review. This is one of those ryes that I think is going to start out spicy, and then as it opens up, it's going to get a little bit more richer, fruit forward, maybe even a little bit more denser. But right now, I'm already loving this. So we'll see how it leans into tomorrow when I do the full review, and also compare it to 8 and 9. Really, really excited to try that. Thought so too. Found a farmer's crazy crop for pure brown. Oh, said Justin. Okay, you're talking that. Sag 8 destroyed my Thomas H. Haney 2024 in the blind. Christian Mungia, yeah, I agree. I said that 8-year is a handy killer. That sounds really weird to say. Handy killer. I've said some really interesting things the last few weeks. Handy killer? Yeah, maybe. But dude, I said Sagamore 8-year could be a Thomas H. Handy killer because Thomas H. Handy is so sweet and also gets very fruit forward. It's a Kentucky rye through and through. But every now and again, you come across a really good rye that's not Thomas H. Handy that can maybe go head to head with it. I think Sagamore 8-year was one of those bottles. Remember, Thomas H. Handy is only 6 years old. It's not like it's this super high aged rye. I think it's just the way they age it and the magical things that the Harry Potter elves do at Buffalo Trace to make all their whiskey so damn sweet. But I think that's a big part of it. So yeah, man, I'm not saying anything else. Handy had that overscent note I get sometimes in ryes. The effervescent note. Yeah, where it's almost feels like it's carbonated. Totally get it. Sagamore stuff blinds well. Their LEs are almost always amazing, but they do sit on shelves still. When will the masses finally get it? It's not your average rye. I don't know. I'll never understand why Sagamore sits around. It's such a, and I think people see Maryland rye or Sagamore rye. They don't think it's a Kentucky rye. It's actually, I think it's better than most Kentucky ryes. I'm not saying every single Kentucky rye, but I think the mix of high rye and low rye mash bills are just like, I don't know, it's like a perfect blend of what you like for if you like a 95.5 or you like a Kentucky rye. It's just such a nice in-between. And I think on top of that, you got to remember like Pikesville and a lot of these brands that were just running the rye game before Prohibition. Maryland was the beacon of rye whiskey pre-Prohibition. And once Prohibition came along, everything went away. They couldn't keep up, and a lot of those labels just went by the wayside. But, some of them got picked up again. Pikesville is the most notable that Heaven Hill picked back up. And I get into a little bit more of the history on the video, which we'll see probably Friday. So Sagamore makes my favorite across their bottles. Master Drum, Jason, maybe I missed it, but what's the plan with Blendageddon this year? Yeah, Adam, Blendageddon, I should have announced it already, to be honest, but everything's just been so crazy this month. My plan is for next week to sit down and plan out Blendageddon and then finally announce it and then get it going. So it is still happening this year. It's just been a little bit crazy the last 2 months for me to even think about it. So, but it is going to happen. Yeah, see, on that sip, I got way more of the rye spice. I got borderline. I got clove. I still get that sharp raspberry note right in the mid palate, and I got the orange peel. But there is a now the clove and the ryeness of it is starting to come forward. Yeah, this is a really layered whiskey so far. We'll see how this opens up. So I'm excited. I want to burn my palate on rye too much because we got a long night ahead of us. A lot of whiskey. 10 to me is more rye forward than the previous 9 and 8. Bourbon Retriever, off that first sip, I might tend to agree with you. But we'll see when I do the comparison. Sounds like I have to purchase some Blue Run for some blending, says Eric Sawyer. There you go, buddy. We'd love to see you back in it, man. Caleb's Crossing Rye just popped up on Shared Pour. Was that one better than the bourbon? I enjoyed the rye better than the bourbon for sure. And also, I don't know if you guys know that. I don't know if there's still some available, but those Rack and Tour ryes that David Jennings dropped last week, that we tasted last week, just dropped. And I told you the Gemini 2. If you can get the Gemini 2, that's the one to get. I think they're on Bourbon Outfitter, I believe. So yeah. Yeah, the Sagamore pick that we just dropped, I think I would love to test it against that 10. I think it's close. Maybe better. We'll see. So, yeah, a lot to get to. with that. But yeah, that Gemini 2, I think is live. I don't know if it's all gone yet, but it's really, really good. So is that Bakey Blue that we tried last week, that berry bomb of a whiskey. There's a lot of, good stuff out there right now, especially not for killer high prices. Brian Noon, how's your blend coming along? I got some really good news. Also, interesting enough, and we'll get into the news here real quick. We'll run through the news stories, and then we'll get into the blind tasting. We could talk about everything whiskey as I'm tasting through these. But real quick, so last week, Jared messaged me and he says, hey, your blend, while still very good, it's starting to shift to a different flavor profile a little bit. It's not so Green River, as you guys may or may not know, inherently sometimes gets a little bit of a peachy note in it. And the barrels that we were playing with were very heavy berry. And that's what I like. I like dark berry notes, blueberry, raspberry, all the berries that I can get. Kind of mixed with some age, some oak, and some of the, like that buttery, that butterscotchy note that I like. So that's what kind of the aim was. I'm not sure if we were able to achieve that. I feel like I got close, but it had to mingle and it had to sit. So this week over at Barrel King, Jared and Matt told me that they tasted the blend again. And it was still really delicious, but they felt like the peachy note now started coming to the forefront. Again, not so much to the point where it was like overtaking the blend, but we're like, it's it's there again. So what do we want to do? So he sent me a sample, tasted it. I'm like, you got to find another berry bomb of a barrel. We have to see what could work with it. So they went through the Rick House. They found one barrel that they thought worked best with the blend. Everybody over there tasted it. They loved it. They thought, wow, this actually this might have made it better. So we dumped that barrel in. I think they topped it off with a couple more with another 10-year, a little bit more. I think like another gallon, whatever, of the 10-year bottle that we had, just to kind of put it on top it off, and then it's been sitting. And then today I get a message from Jared, says, dude, your blend right now is ridiculous. He's like, I'm going to send you a sample bottle right away. You let me know what you want to do. If you want to let it cook, or do you want to start getting this thing bottled? So, I mean, it could be sooner than later till we see this thing, and I'm just super excited to taste it, and we'll see how it goes. But again, I'm not signing off on anything unless I feel like it's stellar. So we'll see how it goes. To be fair, I love peach notes in whiskey. I don't mind peach notes, Jason, as long as it's not the only note that's in my whiskey. That's my issue with it. I just don't want it to overtake everything. There's peach, then there's too much peach. So, but it's been a while since you. Let's see, berries, creme brulee, and barrel funk. Yeah, basically. All right, let's get into a couple news stories, and then we'll get into our tasting really quick. First and foremost, let's go to this one right here. Jack Daniel's has announced the next available exclusively, the latest single barrel that's available exclusively at U.S. military outlets. This is the next Hero selection. This year's expression was chosen by twin brothers J.B. and L.B. McGowan, who, according to the Moore County News, were born in Hamilton County, Tennessee, before moving to Lynchburg at just 2 months old. The brothers were drafted into the U.S. Army in 1958, shipping out to Hanau, Germany, for the entirety of their enlistment. After returning to the United States, they eventually found jobs at the Jack Daniel's distillery, where they continued to work until 1999. So these single barrel whiskeys will be offered at proof points between 125 and 140 proof. Aged in the highest reaches of the brand's Lynchburg barrel house, the whiskey is set to boast inviting aromas of sweet brown sugar, warm baking spice, toasted oak, hint of smoke with vanilla and tobacco. These will be available at U.S. military outlets for $69.99. So love when Jack Daniel's does this. I have last year's that somebody got for me, and I thought it was absolutely incredible. So can't wait to try that one. Let's go to this next one. So this bottle is one of the ones that made kind of I don't know if you want to say a splash, but kind of a big, I mean, I guess, let's just say that I saw this bottle a lot when it came to the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. So this is the next Booker's, and I think is this where the thing is? Maybe not. Maybe it's on the other website. Give me 1 second here. Oh, actually, yeah, it might be here. Where is that? Where did I find the? Oh, here it is. Beam's latest Booker's Bourbon defies expectations in a major way. Here's what you need to know. On Tuesday, the James B. Beam Distilling Company and eighth generation master distiller Freddie No announced the release of Booker's The Reserves 2025, the second installment in the annual limited series honoring sixth generation master distiller Booker No. The Booker's brand, okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, marketing. Yeah, marketing. Okay, these barrels used to finish the Reserves 2025 are well traveled. They were first used to age Booker's 30th anniversary bourbon before being sent to Jalisco, Mexico, where the Camarena family used them to mature El Tesoro's 85th anniversary tequila. Beam and El Tesoro both are under the Suntory umbrella, so the partnership makes sense from that standpoint. Next, the barrels return to Kentucky, where Freddie No selected them to finish the new release. Bottled, uncut, and unfiltered, the Reserves 2025 comes in at 123.3 proof. It was aged 8 years, 10 months, and 11 days. No mention of how much of that aging was in tequila casks, just to be clear. But the distillery describes the whiskey's profiles opening up with caramel, vanilla, and agave on the nose, leading to caramel, oak, and baking spice on the palate. Suggested retail price, $129.99. Anybody in the chat get this? Did anybody go to the KBF and was able to try that bottle at all? I'm just curious if anybody in the chat was able to get that one. Here's the thing. The one tequila that people always tell me to try is El Tesoro. So I'm guessing El Tesoro is well known as a good tequila. Tequila people in the chat, please let me know if that's accurate or not. G-Man 103. Okay, G-Man, you have it. So how is it? Is it any good? What do you think? Have you cracked it open? Oh, G-Man has not opened it yet. The meticulously selected the hottest and most peanuttiest barrels in the rick house. So it's primitive. Don't mess with the Booker's line like this. Hit Pennsylvania already, and I passed. Isaac says it's a great tequila. Okay. El Tesoro is fine, says Nathan. Yeah, it's good for the money. I was very biased and expected to really dislike the new Booker's Reserves, but I really enjoyed it. Not as good as last year's, but way better than I thought. Okay. All right. So I'm interested. I'm definitely not paying secondary like I did last year for the first one. So I'm just going to wait for this one to drop here in Ohio, and then I'll get it when I get it. I'm definitely not overpaying for that one. I didn't. Oh yeah, Booker's Reserves last year I actually enjoyed. I didn't like Little Book. What was the other one? Little Book, the Infinite. Was not a fan of the Infinite. I thought the Infinite was so drying and just so blah. I did not like that one at all to me. So that one was a big miss. This was a surprise little bottle that dropped at Heaven Hill, right? You guys heard about this one? Heaven Hill Springs. Which just opened last week. Now, I was invited to the grand opening, but unfortunately, I could not attend. But at KBF this year, they dropped this little gem. And this is the, where'd it go? That's not it. Trying to keep up with all this. That's not it either. Oh, here it is. So Heaven Hill Distillery unveils Heaven Hill Master Distillers Unity in celebration of the grand opening of Heaven Hill Springs Distillery. So this was created to commemorate the grand opening of the new Heaven Hill Springs Distillery in Bardstown. This once-in-a-generation release embodies the past, present, and future of America's largest independent, family-owned and led distilled spirits producer. So at the heart of Heaven Hill's Master Unity lies the last remaining barrel that was distilled at the historic Old Heaven Hill Springs Distillery in 1991 by Parker Beam and aged for 34 years. This singular whiskey barrel is mingled with 14-year-old, 8-year-old, and 6-year-old bourbon crafted at Bernheim by former master distillers Parker Beam and Denny Potter, as well as current master distiller Connor O'Driscoll, uniting generations of craftsmanship in one extraordinary bottle. So it's bottled at 107 proof. 4,000 bottles will be available. $225 is the price on this one. I saw a bunch of these on secondary following KBF at about $600-700. It was crazy. So yeah, that happened. Also in the news, Joseph Magnus comes out of nowhere and says that, hey, guess what? We're going to be doing barrel picks again. Holy shit. So Joseph Magnus just kind of put this out in the news that they were going to start offering up single barrel picks, actually 10-year single barrel picks through their cast strength program that were aged in Seguin Moreau barrels. So they've announced the return of its private cask program, offering a very limited selection of 10-year-old cast strength bourbons aged in tight grain Seguin Moreau barrels, available primarily through on-site barrel selections, crafted from high rye mash bill of 60 corn, 36% rye, 4% malted barley, and delivers an elegant, complex flavor profile prized by bourbon collectors and connoisseurs, as it says. Let's see. Resurrecting the private cask program has been a passion project for our team, said Ali Anderson, CEO of Craft Co., the company behind Joseph Magnus. For years, our most loyal fans have asked when they could once again secure a Magnus barrel of their own. So these will be 10-year-old high rye bourbons, aged in Seguin Moreau barrels from one of France's most revered cooperages, bottled at cast strength. Expect a 105 to 110 proof. On-site virtual selection includes the original barrel with each purchase, 46 barrels available for public allocation. And guess what? Mash and Journey got one of them. As soon as I got that email, I filled it out, I sent it out, and they got back to me yesterday. And I'm literally going there next week to pick a Joseph Magnus. And I could not be more excited to pick a Joseph Magnus. So saddle up. Here we go. It's Joseph Magnus time. Cannot wait. How much? 200 or more? I don't know what the pricing is going to be on these. They don't sound like they're finished either. So I don't know if this isn't a finished Joseph Magnus variety. It's just the Seguin Moreau. So interesting. And let's see. I can't wait to find one of those. Yeah. So 46 barrels that are allocated. Not a lot. So I guess we'll see if they're out there, or if any pop up in your area. Be pretty cool to see. Okay. Before we get to our blind, of course, we have our bourbon meme of the week. This was a submitted meme, and this one got me. This was pretty hilarious. I want to make sure I call out who sent this in to me, because I thought this was a pretty brilliant one. This was sent in by, let's see here. Do I still have it here? Do I still have the, may not have the email anymore. I'm sorry, but whoever, if you're watching, you sent it in, please let us know in the chat. But thank you so much for sending this in. Here it is. That's mine. So if you guys do not know this story, this lady has been killed on social media, just absolutely dragged through the mud because she stole a baseball at a Phillies game from a dad who gave the ball to his kid. And she went on and on and on that it was her ball. It hit her in the hand. And when it dropped to the floor, he scooped it up and brought it to his son. And she went over to him and kind of pointed the finger at him and said, "That's mine." So somebody brilliant made this with a Blanton's bottle. And I just thought that was hilarious. This reminds me of about 4 or 5 years ago when I literally watched like old men fighting over bottles of Blanton's. It was hilarious. So thank you so much for that. That made me smile. That's hilarious. Yeah, she was she was a little bit crazy. Apparently she was like leaving the stadium, giving everybody the finger, and dude, she got pretty crazy. I keep seeing these things online that she's responded and she said all this stuff. I don't know if it's really her, if it's actually true or not, but yeah. Oh, Jay Porter, you sent that in again? Dude, okay. You do deserve to buy yourself something nice, and your wife. You both of you go shopping. Thank you. Just buy something and then just say Jason C said I could go shopping. Okay. Her husband left before her. Yeah, her husband left before. He's like, that's not my way. Yeah, the Philly Karen. That's what they're calling her. The Philly Karen. It's crazy. Karens be everywhere. Yeah, Cruella de Phil. I think I heard that one. That might have been the most brilliant one I've seen. Oh my God. The Phillies Karen was wild, but for reals, that dad was wild for giving up. Yeah, I don't know. I think the dad was just kind of like, how do I even handle this? Maybe there was a part of him that was like, I don't want to sit here and get into an altercation in front of my kids. So maybe he just like, if you care about that much, just take it. That's crazy. So yeah, all the Karens. Okay. Let's get this started, guys. So I'm going to pick, so 15, it's a little uneven. I'm going to start with the top, I guess 7 here. We'll grab 7. That one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll go 7 here. Okay. And then we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So this is going to be round 1 of tonight's. Well, the whole thing is round 1, but this is going to be split into 2 rounds tonight for the total of round 1. That's not confusing at all. So what we're going to do is taste through these. I'm going to just kind of rate these. I'll give them kind of a 1 to 5 just based on what I'm tasting, see what I like the best. And then once we go from there, we'll go to the next round, and then we'll figure out what my top 4 are going to be. We'll kind of pick a couple favorites from here, a couple favorites from there, and kind of put it together in one final quick blind, and we'll see which ones win. So in tonight's list, if you guys haven't seen them yet on YouTube, it's down in the description. You could see at the bottom of the screen in the description of the video, we have Jim Beam Winter Reserve, Larceny Small Batch, 1792 Small Batch, Knob Creek 9-year, Ezra Brooks 99, Buffalo Trace, Early Times Bottled and Bond, Old Forester 100 Signature, Benchmark Full Proof, Jim Beam Black 7-year, Benchmark Bonded, Benchmark Small Batch, Wheel Horse, and then Rebel 100. So all of those bourbons are in this blind tonight, and I want to thank all the patrons and all you guys who commented last week to put all your different options in the chat. Some of them I couldn't use because they were actually higher than $30 by a pretty good amount. So these are the ones that I found that were basically, right at that $30 and even cheaper. So, yep. Yeah, Z-Biotics already in the body. Let's do this thing. Should have put Evan Williams 1783 is also next week. If you guys want to know what next week's bottles are, or the week after, not sure we're going to get to all of them. Next week, or the next time we do this, is going to be Bullet, Wild Turkey 101, OGD 114, Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, Evan Williams 1783, Dickel 8-year, Tin Cup, Devil's Cut, this Jim Beam Devil's Cut, I should say, Jim Beam Double Oaked, Old Crow, Ancient Age 10-star, Very Old Barton 100, Benchmark Top Floor, Benchmark Single Barrel, OGD Bonded, and now we are adding Mellow Corn to the mix. And I think Green River is in there too, the regular Green River, the standard Green River that I think is like, it's like $29.99. I think the standard Green River is in there too. So, dude, it's a ton of stuff. There's a lot of bourbons to go through, and we'll see how we do. Where's that Old Tub? I'm not fucking putting Old Tub in there. Nope. Just gonna keep adding bottles to this. Is the Wheel Horse the regular or cask strength? It's the regular. I think it's what, 100 proof, 101 proof, the Wheel Horse. Wow, Jason, when you do something, you do all out, man. Yeah, I mean, you guys, I get a lot of inspiration from viewers. You guys tell me like you want me to do a certain thing, and if I'm really into it, I'm going all in, man. I want to see what ends up winning. So let's go. Let's do this first round here. Let's dive into it. Let's see what we get. All right. So what I'm going to do here is kind of take quick notes just to get my first quick impressions. I'm not going to sit here and analyze all these all night because we'll be here all night. I don't have all night. So let's do the first 7 here. So let's go to glass 1. Yeah, I think Cooper's Craft 100 should be in it too, but Cooper's Craft 100, like I said, it's like $33. You know what? I might just throw it in there just because it is cheaper in some places, but it's a little bit more expensive here in Ohio. All right, so first one here, very light, very sweet. I think a lot of these will be a little bit similar. The one thing I'm looking for is kind of a youthful note to it. This one I don't really get a lot of youth. This one just has very light caramel flavors. It's kind of what you want. Let's go with the first one here. Cheers. Cheers to the tournament. Here we go. You should blend them all together at the end. Yeah. Oh, that was actually really nice on the palate. I wonder if that's one of the higher proof ones. Wow, nice little spice. Very good. I mean, the texture's not too bad. I'm digging that. 4 sips and already buzzed. Salute to you, sir. Jack Daniel's Bonded should be in. Yeah, maybe. Could do that maybe. Oh, how much is Jack Daniel's bond? Is that $30? I don't remember. One is very sweet. It's really good. I dig it. Top Jimmy coming in with the 10 gifted memberships again. So if you guys are getting a gifted membership or a free membership, thank you, Top Jimmy, or you could thank him. Like 35. Oh, it's over. Okay. 26 for me, says Cushman. Holy shit. JD Bonnet is $25 here. Oh, man. Dude, these prices are all over the map. I mean, there's a $10 difference in some places. Christian says, just found a Match Keep Beacon yesterday for $309 at Total Wine. Super excited to have my first Match Keep. When's the Beacon versus Russell's 15 double base? Soon. If it's over, kick it out, says Adam. So yeah, this one's solid. I like this one. If I had to give this a rating, say 3 stars, it's hard when it's the first one. I'll just, I'll give this a 3 for now, and we'll see how it fares, as we kind of go through this blind. JD Bond is 35 in Ohio. Yeah, John, I think you're right. All right, second one here. Again, a little bit. Ooh, this one's actually a little sweeter, I think. A little bit more oak profile in this one, which is interesting. Definitely not as sweet as the first one. This one dives into a little bit more oak, a little bit more baking spice. Wow, very sweet. That is vanilla ice cream in a glass. Vanilla ice cream in a glass all day long. I wonder if that's one of the benchmarks. Glad we're on the same page, Richard Z. No political comments in chat, please. Yeah, listen, I understand like a lot of stuff happened today and it was terrible, and I get all that. But I don't want this to turn into a political thing in the chat. I feel like we all watch YouTube and watch sports and stuff to get away from that. And as tragic as today was, whatever side of the fence you're on, whatever side of the aisle, whatever you want to call it, I just think no matter what happens, let's just say without peace, without empathy, without working together, we can't really have politics. And right now it's just so divided. It's scary. And shit like this happens like we had today. It's really scary. It's unfortunate. We just can't have like a logical conversation anymore. And, I pray for change, and I pray for people to get a little bit of a level head. And, but if you guys feel strongly about anything and you want to voice it, as much as I'm for free speech, just keep it out of this platform, please. We just don't want that in the chat. And I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll tell you what. I thought I liked one a lot, but 2 is really good. I think I'm going to actually end up giving that a 3 as well. I don't know if I'm ready to go 4 yet. But yeah. I think we'll go 3 with that. Let's go to number 3 here. Ooh. Wow, 3 is a whole different vibe. 3, I'm getting a little banana in it, a little banana. This is like, yeah, totally getting banana in here. Hey, we got our names. Oh, yeah, you guys did get your names back. What happened? Okay. I'm really interested in number 5 because of the color. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah. 5's pretty dark. I'm getting like peanut butter banana on 3. What? There's no Jack Daniels in here. That's a surprising note. I don't feel like I felt like I would come across banana, maybe with a little bit of the benchmark, maybe 1792. 1792 small batch, I generally don't get banana in it. But 1792 does sometimes have that flavor profile. But this mix of peanut butter and banana together is kind of interesting. I'm kind of digging it. And again, just goes to show you when you're tasting different bourbons and you go off of one or the other, you start getting different flavors. So we'll see how this goes. Maybe Old Forester. I hope it's not the Elvis blend for sure. By the way, I got so many messages last week after my little rant about people backing into parking spots. Just letting you know, it gained some steam. People were talking about it. I got messages about people saying, "Listen, man, I back into spots, but I'm good at it." Okay, so there you go. Like people were defending their backing into spots thing. It was hilarious. By the way, I have another complaint today, again having to do with parking lots. So we'll do another rant here in a little bit. We might as well. We have a little time. Going to be going through all these. Yeah, that one's interesting. I don't think I like that one as much as 1 and 2. So I think I'm going to drop number 3 to actually give it a 2. Yeah, I'm just not digging that one. All right, let's go to 4. All right, so 4 is probably the first one I've gotten some pretty good baking spice on. You know, I'm not saying like heavy cinnamon, but there's definitely a little cinnamon nutmeg vibe on this one. Little peanutty here for sure. Hold up, I back in the spots in my truck. Sometimes necessary to get out, says Adam Dorman. Oh yeah, Adam, you missed the whole thing. Adam, first of all, there's a big difference between what you do and probably the truck you drive, being a farmer. I'm talking about people that go into like, you know, they're at a freaking Kroger or a Giant Eagle or a Walbaum's or whatever the hell they go shopping at, Costco, and they feel the need to hold up everybody so they can back into a parking spot, which I don't know why people do at Costco because you need to open the damn trunk. But I said, like, look, if you're good at it, then back in. Here's my other issue in parking lots. And I just noticed this the other day, too. I'm like, oh, I'm going to talk about this because I was in the car with Kim and I was complaining about it. You ever like you're pulling into a parking lot and you're kind of waiting, and say you're going into the grocery store, right? And you're kind of pulling up, you turn in, and whether it's all the way across the lot and you're going closer to like the front door, or because like here where I live, I literally just turn to a right. I make a right into the parking lot where the Kroger is. And I'm right at the front of the building. Like I turn right and the front of the building's right here. I hate what annoys Jason C is when people walk out of they're either walking out or walking in. And instead of just making a straight beeline towards the sidewalk, they walk, the bastards walk on an angle really slowly. Like, just go burp and then, you know, make a beeline, just straight, just walk out, go straight, and then go to your car. No, not anymore. These people take their sweet ass time and walk on an angle towards the door, towards the front door. Walk across the angle. And you got to sit here and you got to wait for a freaking hour for these people to take their sweet time. And for some reason, it's the people that walk on the angle that walk the slowest. What is happening? Why is this happening? Like, just when you leave the doors, don't walk on an angle across to get to your car. Walk across, get into the lot, and then get to your car. Don't walk on an angle. And then if you walk on an angle, fucking run. Don't just, lollygag your ass over there. It drives me nuts. Just saying. Adam Hinson, I backed into a spot at a restaurant the other night and laughed the whole time thinking of Jason. I'm telling you, man. Per your DMV license, that pedestrians have the right of way. Get off my lawn, John Farron. They are most likely on their phone and walking. I mean, obviously, I think that's a big part of the problem. But when you're walking across to get to your car and you decide to kind of take the long way on an angle rather than just going across, oh my God, it's maddening. And you're right. People are either looking at their phone, not paying attention, or they're just, I don't know what they're doing. They're just, this is how I go across to my car. And it happens everywhere. It drives me nuts. So there you go. There's my other rant for today. Because it's the shortest route. It's not though, Adam. What kills me is when someone goes to self-checkout where there's 4 rows of registers and they try to stand in the middle. Oh, dude, the self-checkout thing, I want to punch that machine every freaking time I use it. Yeah, there's some big like peanut in here. I'm wondering if this is one of the beams. Let's give it a try. Oh, that's very good. This is one of, so out of the first 4, this is definitely the most balanced. Great spice, great texture, great sweetness. I think that one deserves a 4, especially coming off the first 3. This one just has a little bit of an elevated flavor profile, I think, than the others. Not elevated, but there's just a little bit more going on. Let me go for another sip here. Top 5 ways to steal from self-checkout. This also has the best finish. Hands down. That's spicy. Great finish on. That's a 4 on that one. Number 4 gets a 4. I dig that one. That one's good. Darren says, I walk at an angle normally because my right leg is slightly longer than my left leg. Darren, I don't know if you made... I'm sorry if that's mean that I'm laughing. That's kind of fun. I just picture you like walking in circles as you cross the you're just spinning in circles as you're crossing the street. I'm gonna stop and tie my shoes in front of Jason next time. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so many little things that annoy people. It's hilarious. Oh my God. I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, oh man, what else drives me nuts? Guys are raising my blood pressure. All right, so you have 3, 3, 2, and a 4. So, all right, let's go to number 5. Oh, 5 smells. 5 smells really good. So 5 has the sweetness that I found in, I think, 1. But there has a little bit more like creme brulee going on in this one. That smells good. Yeah, and it is pretty dark compared to the others. So I'm really curious what this one could be. I'll cross out the whole parking lot in a straight line to my vehicle, but I also believe in the hustle. Knees to chest, says Andrew Coins. All right, let's see what this one is. This one smells great. This one might 4 and 5 already, I think, have the best noses. So we'll see. Walk in a zigzag motion when walking an angle to avoid the cars. 5 is funky. What the hell is 5? See, this is what happens when you don't drink this shit for a little while. Wow. All right, so I take that back. 5 is now the most oak forward that I've gotten, at least in this flight, in these first ones here. Top 5 pet peeves. Let's fucking go. Top 5 pet peeves. The backing in the spot is definitely one of them. If you're not, again, there's an asterisk. It's you have to, if you're not skilled at it and you do it, that's what drives me crazy. If you're really good at it, more power to you. Back into every spot you want. I mean, but if you can't do it, don't do it. Five's good. This is the first one I'm getting a brown sugar note. All these have been pretty bright. 5 has a nice brown sugar punch that is just elevating the experience a little bit compared to the other ones. So 4 and 5, 4 I has the best finish so far. 5 I think has the best kind of range of sweetness, if you will. So I'm gonna give that one a 4 as well. That's really nice. You'll love the brown sugar note in there. Pet peeve equals someone driving 10 miles slower in the left lane. Yeah, I mean, yeah, people do get. How about when at a drive-through, Wait, hold on a second. This is amazing. I love this. How about a drive-through when you need 2 feet to order and the guy in front is like 8 feet in front and won't move up? That's a good one. One place you have to back into spots, kids sports games. Otherwise, you're never getting out. Dougal, that is so spot on, dude. You're right. You're right. Biggest parking lot pet peeve, wide open parking lot, car parks right next to you. Yeah. Yeah, that happens a lot, especially like people that get a new car, they try to park far away and there's like one person that's like, that's a great idea. I'm going to park there too. And they go like right next to you. I don't know what voice that was, but yeah. I don't know what that I just went higher register. Sorry about that. Sorry, I blew out your speakers. I don't know what the hell that voice came from, but yeah. Seriously. All right, let's see what we got here. 6 has some work to do. Yeah, let me think of some other pet peeves that I have that I can't stand. I feel like there has to be someone like airports. Oh yeah, airport one. I feel like this bothers a lot of people, but I'm not sure. I might be the minority here. How come as soon as a plane comes to a stop and it pulls into the gate, everybody gets up and people run to the fucking front of the plane? Where are you going? Where are you going? Why are you trying to cut the line? Now look, there's, again, there's asterisks to this. If you're late and you're trying to make a connection, I get it. But there are I feel like the whole damn plane now stands up and runs to the front like their ass is on fire. What are you doing? Where are you going? They didn't even open the door yet. They're still, connecting the jetway. Like, what are you doing? Oh my God. Just sit. You could sit for another 2 minutes until they open the door and you can leave. Like, what are you getting up and running for and causing all the commotion, opening all the shit? You're not going anywhere anytime soon. Stop. That shit makes me crazy. Oh, because I just sit there. I'm like in the window seat. And I just I like to watch it. I'm like, I'm like a kid in a candy store. I'll just sit there and I'm waiting for the plane to stop. And then all of a sudden it stops. And then as soon as the light goes, then you hear all the unbuckling of the belts. And then people getting up. They're opening everything and they're running to the front of the plane. Where are you going? Fucking relax. Sit down. You're not going anywhere. Oh my God. It kills me. I can't stand it. Yeah, but then people are getting hit with the bags. Oh my God. Yeah, I think people just want to get off that plane maybe. But I also do understand it if it's a very, very long flight. If it's like a 5-6 hour flight, you got to stand. Like, it's one thing to stand up. I get that part of it. Stretch your legs. It's another thing, especially to have to but like running to the front is just ridiculous. I don't get it. What's a good distillery in Chicago flying there tomorrow? Not Malort. Chicago, man, what is a good distillery in Chicago? I don't know. I can't think of one right now off the top of my head. I quote the historic poetic ballad called Talladega Nights. Someone didn't love you enough when you were little. Jepson's. Yeah, maybe Jepson's. Oh, Few. Yeah, Few is not great. Either is 6. 6 is okay. 6 is good, not great. Six is just a little too light. I mean, it's good. I feel like 6 is a mixer-ish type of whiskey. I'll give that a 2. Not really digging 6. All right, last one. Let's go to 7 here. See what we got. Chicago has great breweries, man. If you like beer, go to Chicago for the beer. The breweries in Chicago are ridiculous. Yeah, just go to Goose Island. You get bourbon aged shit. You get good beer. Just go to Goose Island. Yeah, Koval is the one I was trying to think of. Shemi, thank you. They have some like love it or hate it stuff. You're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. But Jepson's has actually really good bourbon. They have a lot of good stuff that's sourced from MGP, a couple of other places. So you don't have to drink the Malort, but regular Jepson's is pretty good. Definitely not Koval. Chicago makes delicious maples. Revolution Brewery. Oh, Revolution. Okay. $13 plus $1 refills for Oktoberfest at Goose Island. Go now. Yes, go. Go, go, go. I just realized the other day that Ohio has Malort now on the shelf. I don't know whether I was proud or disgusted. Just saying. Chicago has a lot of great bourbon bars, great speakeasies. I'm trying to remember that hotel I went to with Jason and Brandy from Black Bourbon Family. They took me, Kim, Scott, and Julie out to this bar that was doing custom cocktail. Oh, I'm sorry, not custom. Should I use the word bespoke? You want to get into that again? Bespoke cocktails. Basically, what you do is they give you a menu and you choose the type of glassware, your base liqueur, whether it be gin, bourbon, rum, whatever you like. Then you pick your flavor profile. Do you like spicy? Do you like sweet? Do you like sour? Do you like bitter? And then I forgot what the last selection was. So, also like at the back end, like on the last selection, I believe was, do you like certain types of, what would you call it? Garnishes. So an orange slice, a lemon slice. And basically what you do is you give the server all that information. You fill out your sheet. They just bring it to the bar, the bartender, and they craft you something based on the choices you make. I thought that was one of the coolest things. It was really, really cool. So Chipotle for cocktails. Nathan, why I gotta ruin it, man? Come on, Nathan. Jeez. But it wasn't, but it was a really cool bar. And it's not like Chipotle when, that's another pet peeve. You guys are sending me down a rabbit hole. Chipotle, this is just a call out to all the Chipotles. Stop allowing people to get shit on the side. Like everything on the side. Certain things you get on the side. Get your sour cream on the side. You want to get your guacamole on the side? Fine. But I have just sat there online waiting for people that make their order. It's like, I'm going to get a bowl. Okay. They get their bowl. They get the rice. They get this and that. And then all of a sudden, everything goes on the side. Corn on the side. Peppers on the side. Freaking salsa on the side. Like, why is it all on the side? Just fucking put it on it. It's all going to the same place. What are you doing? And it just holds up the line constantly. Always. It drives me fucking crazy. Like I'm just sitting there online and I have to wait for all these people I have to watch these poor workers at the Chipotle. They're only dealing with the madness that is Chipotle. And now these people are like, can you put that in? So you gotta get the cup and you gotta put it in a cup and you gotta cover the cup and you gotta put it there. And then, can I have that on the side too? Okay. One in the cup. Oh, what else? And the Chipotle person just wants to freaking wrap up your shit and get out. But no, they can't move on to the next person because you need 75 little cups of every topping they have. Stop it. I think that's the last one tonight. I don't like the blood pressure going. I'm just saying. All right, last one. My wife is the special order queen. We don't go out much, says Darren. Yeah, I kind of am sound like I ain't kind of sounding like Seinfeld right now. What is the deal with Chipotle? Old man rant. To people who take forever at McDonald's, menu has been the same since we were kids. Says Benjamin. Pet peeve. People say that online when in line. Look, man, I know that's a pet peeve, and I do say that. I'm sorry. Mrs. JJ Pickle here. Mr. JJ Pickle here. I miss Kenny Rogers Roasters. This last one's also a little bit flat. Well, that one's borderline. That's borderline 2 and 3. The finish is kind of saving it. Jason's got a solid open mic 5 minutes ready to go. I do. Man, you give me an open mic. I'm in it, man. I'm ready to go, man. Oh my God. I don't know if it would be funny. It would just be me ranting on stage. If I'm somehow making you guys laugh, then that's even better. John Panette, get out of the line. Yeah, online inline is definitely an East Coast thing. As much as I found out, moving to the Midwest. I love Chipotle. Chipotle is my life. Prescription bourbon. He's like, I am Chipotle. I'm filled with nothing but fajitas, and I fill that with nothing but fajita peppers and onions, and their freaking hot honey chicken. Yeah, no, seven's okay. All right. So the contenders here are 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4, and 5 are the ones that I really like from this first round. So we're gonna kind of keep those to the in the mix. So 1, 2. So these will stay here. Then we have 4 and 5. So these will stay here as well. These are going to, I'm not saying get eliminated, but we're just going to put these to the side right here. I don't want to get those mixed up with the ones that I like from that section. All right. We have 8 more to go, boys and girls and children. No children watching this, are there? Chipotle is best when the local soccer team is taking to dinner at 9 p.m. and there's 45 sweaty kids all being bossed around by one suburban blonde mom who forgets you're not in her group and yells at you too. That sounds like a personal experience you had. Oh my God. Okay. All right, we have another 8 to go here. So I'm really encouraged by the top 4. There's some really good selections there. I still think 3 and 4 in that lineup are really good. So we'll see if they're old favorites or new favorites. So I'm just going to take a little bit of a break now, answer some questions here. I'm trying to think if I had any other updates. Yeah, I think we kind of filled you in on the drum key label. As far as the drum key actual label, that's coming along nicely as well. I did reveal some label details to my patrons, but I can't show them publicly yet because they're not out there yet. So, but that's coming soon, and I think they look fantastic. So we're getting there. Virginia Rose says Team Cava. Chipotle is the Olive Garden of Mexican food. Well, 3 for the mouthfeel. Got it. Yep. Nice hat. When is the drop? Actually, this weekend we'll be dropping these hats. These are the Char 5 Mash and Drum hats. While I run Pictate, says Wesley Forte. That just got the labels done, Wes. So I'm not sure when we're going to see that one. So we'll get that TTP approved. Not yet. Whiskey knows, and that's what we're waiting on before we reveal it. So Chipotle didn't always suck. I still like Chipotle. There's nothing wrong with Chipotle. Chipotle is good. Chipotle is good when it's in a pinch. What about those that open their door into yours? Oh, like in the parking lot? Yeah, those people are assholes. Sometimes it's kids and they can't even stop them. Just Olive Garden is the Red Lobster of Italian food. I tell you what. Listen, I'm a born and bred Italian, first generation, man. And I'll tell you, when it comes to Olive Garden, there's not much better than the soup and salad on a Sunday. Right? Soup and salad, endless soup and salad. It's so good. I'm not mad at it. That's probably the only thing I would get at Chipotle. Kim and I, we go often. We'll just do soup and salad on the weekends. It's a nice little dinner. It's not filling unless you have like 6 bowls of soup, but it's pretty damn good. I still like Subway, says Darren. Darren, you're just leave now. That's terrible. Subway. I had some girl open both front and rear doors into my car. The car I just bought a week and a half prior. Oh, dude, that sucks, Eric. Sorry, man. Was always pots on Sunday growing up in my house. The salad is amazing. Lobster in my area sucks. Just kidding. It's pretty good. Well, Isaac, don't you live in like right near Maryland or some shit? Dude, I'm sure it's pretty good by you. Subway is garbage. Subway smells worse than the Subway. Subway gives me the chocolate whispers. This is the comment of the night right here, everybody. And then you got Shemi that says Subway slaps. Okay. It's divisive. White rice and nothing else is whiskey BS. Love it. Oh my God. I love this conversation tonight. You guys are killing it. Florida apologizes for Olive Garden. Lead lobster and all. Let's see. Subway slaps the shit out of you. Literally. That's true. It's true. So let's talk a little bit about Kentucky Bourbon Festival. So Kentucky Bourbon Festival happened. Obviously, I'm planning to be there next year. Couldn't get there this year, obviously, with everything going on. However, there was an interesting thing that happened, and we'll talk about Jim Beam again. Not only was that Booker's Reserves tequila thing released, but I saw on secondary people trying to sell the Knob Creek 21. So the Knob Creek 21 year apparently dropped at Jim Beam, and people had that on secondary for $900, $800 to $900 on secondary for Knob Creek 21. People immediately that were commenting below said, like 500, like that's really high. And you can't say that on secondary because it hurts people's feelings for whatever reason. Like you can say, dude, you're smoking some serious something. You're smoking some serious crack. That should not be $900. So, but the post that got me, I don't remember who it was. I read a post that on secondary that somebody wrote. He wrote the whole backstory, which I think was pretty cool, which was pretty funny. He goes, because there was label issues with this release, Jim Beam decided to release the Knob Creek 21 as a Kentucky Bourbon Festival exclusive. I was like, no, that's not true at all. So there was a lot of people trying to throw those bottles online for a tremendous amount of money and telling people that it's an exclusive to Kentucky Bourbon Festival. That's not the case at all. It's Jim Beam. There's Knob Creek 21s are going to be everywhere at some point. So the fact that people are trying to pawn it off that way, I thought was pretty shitty. Now, look, here's the thing. I know a lot of people may see Kentucky Bourbon Festival as kind of like a flipper's paradise. And, I think in some ways it is, but it's really a very small subset of people that are there. They're just there to flip bottles. And it's just going to happen. You can't avoid it, unfortunately. But another bottle that was very popular was the Dark Arts Buffalo Turkey blend that they put out. I've seen those on secondary for about $500-$600. Those were everywhere online, which was pretty nuts. The Unity, the bottle that we talked about before, the Heaven Hill Unity, was also being put online for a tremendous amount of money, along with some other bottles. There was just a lot of different bottles that I saw all from the Kentucky Bourbon Festival that weekend from kind of the same group of people. So unfortunately, there is a microcosm of folks that go there to get bottles, to flip bottles, and I get it if that's what they're doing. Again, you can't stop it no matter what you do. However, the thing that got me were that some of these stories being told about different bottles that were out there. That's the Dark Arts one, I think, is an actually legit KBF exclusive. The Knob Creek 21 is not. So please don't pay $900 for that bottle because it's probably going to be like $300 retail, maybe $250 retail. So we'll see what happens. Flipper's Paradise. Yeah. Coolio might have done a remix. Got some SAG 10 in the glass now. Stay thirsty chats of Stone City. What's up, man? By the time they travel and wait in line and ticket prices, how do they even make money flipping? Well, James, it's because they're pricing stuff at $800, $900, and they're telling people that they're KBF exclusives when they're really not. What Jim Beams have the most peanutty notes? I had the Booker's Barry's batch, and it was pretty great. It depends on the Booker's, but if you're looking for like a peanut bomb, it's going to depend on the book. But I think Booker's, more often than not, is going to give you that peanutty goodness. If you want lick the floor of a bar, super heavy peanut, then Old Tub. I refuse to buy from flippers, have to miss out sometimes, but I'm not about that life. Love that flippers develop their own marketing story to push their bottles. MT Dobbs is here. What's up? A little late tonight. Need a change from the Charlie Kirk story. So sad. Yeah, we addressed that earlier. Just don't want to turn this into a political thing. But yeah. I refuse to pay over SRP. Are you doing a Knob Creek cask pick, says Wesley Forte? I'm hoping at some point, man. Booker's is peanut and heat, though. Yeah, it's peanut and heat. If you're actually those new the Jim Beam single barrel bottles that are on the shelf, those are actually very peanut heavy, and they have a decent proof point to them. So yeah. Yeah, so for me, I don't like to go to secondary if I don't have to. But the problem is that when you're looked upon as someone to do a review sooner than later, sometimes I have to go to secondary. And while I can wheel and deal or try to get the price lower, I do my best. And I've always been transparent with you guys about that. There are bottles I do have to buy on secondary just to get a review out there. But most of the time, I have a lot of people and patrons, just like you guys watching, who help me get bottles, which is amazing as well. But I don't feel like I need to be the first to have a review anymore. There's just so many reviews out there. I feel like if you trust my palate and you trust what I think, you're going to watch regardless. But I do feel like there is some value with certain bottles to get, sooner than later, because people in different states get them sooner than later, so it depends. And I can't always wait on Ohio to get bottles because generally Ohio is on the later side. So that's it. Yeah, for the show it's understandable, and you admit it. Yeah, I totally admit it. I've seen people in Reddit say, "Oh, I saw Mass and Drum, that idiot just bought something on secondary." It's like, dude, I have to. I don't have to, but I can't always just wait for, because chances are if there is a bottle that's really coveted that I can just get, even though I'm paying way over MSRP for it, sometimes that bottle in Ohio will end up as a lottery, and I'm never going to be able to get that bottle. Like Star Hill Farms. Star Hill Farms is a lottery bottle in Ohio. Like, there's no way. So I had a buddy of mine get the bottle for me. So, and then there's other bottles where I've had to go to secondary to get, like Eagle Rare 12, I grossly overpaid for. And again, I admit that. So, because I'm not going to wait for Ohio to get it, that's probably going to be a lottery bottle. And who knows when I would have seen that bottle. So there's certain bottles that you kind of, as a reviewer, I have to overpay for. So, but it is what it is. Wait, who's the idiot on Mass and Drum? This guy. Okay. Where are we at here? Let me write down the next. All right. So now we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Holy shit. All right. Let's see what we got here. This is the first one in the second round of the first flight. Will your drum key release? Oh God, sorry, it popped up here. Will your drum key release be able to BK member? Yes, Bob Glass. If you are a gold member for Barrel King, you will get access to it for sure. Jared made that very clear. He wants all his gold members to get a bottle of drum key stuff. So, and the fact that we had to add another barrel to it, that just upped the bottle count. So there should be enough to go around. I appreciate that you are transparent on how you acquire your bottles and understand that you have an obligation to your viewers. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's about. Jason's famous quote, it's my fucking money. I mean, it is. It's my money. If I want to buy it, I could buy it. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. Man, this has some heat. It singes the nostrils on the first one. Since saying that, is 250 too much for the Russells? Russell's 13 is such a weird, divisive whiskey. I have talked to people that love it more than the previous versions, and I've talked to people that do not like it as much as the previous versions, because it is. I think it's very different, and I will still keep saying that. It's a more vanilla spice, vanilla cookie, creme brulee type of profile versus the previous Russell's Reserve 13s that have leaned into more age, oak, tobacco, maybe some of that cherry that that Wild Turkey is known for. I think Russell's 13 2025 also has, again, a little bit of that orange peel, but it's a little bit brighter. It's not as deep and dark as what you get in the previous Russell's 13s. And I think it's kind of just like what you like. There's some people that really like that there's not as much oak in the Russell's 13 this year versus what they have been in the past. So it just depends on what you like. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's, I happen to prefer the older Russell's 13s because I like the darker richness, a little bit of the barrel char, the tobacco, some of that turkey funk, if you will, that I don't really get in this year's Russell's 13. But that's my palate because I love Wild Turkey. So it just depends on what you like. I think it's delicious either way. The 2025 Russell's 13. It's actually a very crushable bourbon. If you could get it for retail, I would still buy it because I think it's really delicious. So, but if you're expecting it to be like the previous versions of 13, it's not what it is in my mind. Kevin O'Malley. That's a good way to describe it. Yeah, Russell's 15 is going to go down as one of the best of all time. But I'm telling you, man, that Beacon is a special bottle too. Now, Russell's single Rickhouse Camp Nelson E is coming out at some point soon. And I talked to Bruce Russell about it, and he said that bottle, just wait till you taste it. So I'm curious if there's no way that could be better than Beacon. It's probably going to be different, but I don't know. I guess we'll see. This batch is relatively funk-free compared to others in some yeah, Shemi, that's a great way to describe it. It's funk-free, it's sweet, it's spicy, it does still slap. The proof on it is great. All the proofs at Wild Turkey have been going up. So that kind of has been what we're seeing in Russell's 13 for 2025. That's why you're seeing it at a higher proof this year. Yeah, Russell's Reserve 15, just with those funky, dark, rich fruit flavors and the tobacco, the oak, the turkey funk it has, almost a dusty quality. Beacon just leans into more of a what's the word here? An elegant experience where you're getting the tobacco, the sweetness. You're getting a little bit more of you're getting some of the cherry, but everything is very elegant, but it's just such a well put together blend. It's just a different, I think there's more ways that the Beacon goes versus what Russell's 15 does. Russell's 15, and I said this in the review, Russell's 15 slaps you in the face as hard as it can, but the flavors it has are exceptional. I think Beacon is a little bit more layered, if you will. Holy shit. That is hot. Whoa. If that's not benchmark foolproof, then I'd be, holy crap. That thing slapped. Speaking of things that slap, unless I just took too much of a break between sips, but this thing came in hot. What if Russell's Reserve 15 was in that Fitz decanter, though? It'd be worth millions. All right, so first one is, yeah, it's super high proof, but I also think, yeah, dude, it is vanilla gasoline. Much like the Jefferson's 130 proofer this year, but I don't think it's as refined. It's a little bit sharper, a little bit more rough around the edges, which I don't mind. I will probably give that, Man, it's actually at the same time, it's very sweet, very candy. I think I'm going to give that one a 3. I kind of dig that one. All right, let's go to number, what is this? Number, I guess, technically number 9. Number 9. Okay. I just have never had a light whiskey that hit me every remotely right. I don't know. Sweet and metallics is Eric Farr. Eric, I somewhat agree with you, but I don't agree. So here's the thing with light whiskey, for me personally. I think there are some light whiskeys out there that have been really interesting and really just full of flavor, and I get it. But I think light whiskey now, it went from new and interesting and something that people could taste, something that people can maybe explore and discover for the first time and maybe add it to their rotation a little bit. And I think more than anything, and I do talk about this in my marketing video that I'm still working on, I think light whiskey has become more of a gimmick because of the high proof points. I'm not saying for everybody, because I do think there's some really good people, really good distillers doing interesting things with light whiskey, whether they're double oaking it, they're finishing it, trying to give it a little bit more texture, a little bit more body to it. And I do enjoy that part of it. But I think there's a lot of folks that are just trying to sell it because of the high proof points, and it's become a little bit of a gimmick. And I don't want to see it go that way, because I do think there is a space for light whiskey. People seem to really enjoy it, but I don't know. But also, to me, light whiskey, if you've had like 10 to 15 of them, they all start really kind of tasting the same. Not a lot of depth. It's buttery. It's butterscotchy. It's extremely sweet. But there's not a lot of avenues it goes unless you give it a finish or you give it something else to build on those sweet flavors. So, yeah. And it's also like a great price. I mean, here's the thing about light whiskey. People love it because it's a high age statement. It's super high proof. And those are two things you could put on a label that will make somebody buy a whiskey. And there you go. That's why it turns into that. Oh, I don't like that one at all. What was that one? Oh, that one was kind of had a funky aftertaste. Okay, wait, not so bad. Bubblegum on number 2. Wow, bubblegum. Still not crazy about that one. That one's going to get a 2. I'm not, 2 gets a 2. Or I should say 9 gets a 2. Let's go to number 3. 3 smells good. 3, I get a little banana. This is banana and cinnamon. Banana, cinnamon. Man, definitely a little spice here. So number 10 is actually pretty interesting. I kind of like this one. Man, that banana note. So this is the second glass I've gotten a good amount of banana in. Oh, wow. The palate's good. Cinnamon. This is the first glass I've gotten a little hint of milk chocolate in as well. Little chocolate, little oak, cinnamon, little hint of banana all day long. Good texture. That one's good. That one has some good flavors to it. I'm kind of digging this one. The best light whiskeys are 8 out of 10. The worst are as bad as other whiskeys. That's just my opinion. You're paying for second place right away, says Whiskey Habit. Penelope 17 year is like a trip to the carnival. I think Penelope 17 year is probably one of the better ones I've had recently, to be honest. Let's talk about good stuff like Stranahan's 12. What's your thoughts? Stranahan's 12 was ridiculously good. Dude, I got lit up in the comments because people said that they thought the price was too high. And after I did the video, I did my research and I found out that there are pretty much no American single malts near that price point of $200. So yeah, if I had to go back, I would probably agree and check myself and say that Stranahan's, I think, overshot on the price for this one. I get it's a founder's release. I guess it's a 12-year, and there's probably some built-in nostalgia, LE pricing that goes into that. Totally get it. But when you compare it with the rest of the market, what we're seeing from other American single malts for the money, it's wildly overpriced. Even more than, and like the Cornerstone that came out from, what was it, Westward? Is it Cornerstone or is it, what was the name of that one? I want to say Cornerstone. I'm not sure if yeah, it is Cornerstone. Or was that the Wild Turkey release? No, I can't remember. Yeah, the Westward LE was up there, but that was like a box and a giant cork that was like metal. Milestone. Sorry, Milestone. Thank you guys so much. The Westward Milestone was probably the highest price one I've seen to that regard. And look, you might want to say like, I don't care about boxes and the fancy bottles, but that Westward Milestone was a beautiful presentation, and the whiskey happened to be exceptional. Chocolate, coffee, just dark fruit for days, and exceptional whiskey. And the Stranahan's, while you don't get all that, you do get a lot of very rich flavor. But $210 for that bottle, yeah, I think they're reaching a bit with that one. But either way, it's a damn good American single malt. If you're like a fan of like coffee cake and shit, oh my God, it's so good. Yeah, I think that plays into Stranahan's. There's not a lot of 12-year. Most of the American single malt just on the market for like 80 to $100 are 6 to 7 years old. So I think 12 years gives it another bit of a bump in the price point. Dude, I'm sorry, number 10 is really good. I'm gonna give 10 I might bump 10 up to a 4. That has some really good flavors. I love that little chocolate note I'm getting on there. I don't know if I'm getting chocolate just because I'm coming off of number 9, which has a little bit funky flavor to it, but I do get like a nice banana note in here. I'm getting some really good cinnamon, some baking spice, good texture. That's a good one. I'll go 3 on that one. I don't think I'm gonna go as far as a 4, but I'll go with 3 on that one. All right, let's go to number 11 here. Yeah, I think it's worth every penny. I don't care what anybody says. People are looking for good whiskey. That Stranahan's is insane. And I got a lot of messages saying that after my review, it's sold out. I'm sorry. Thoughts on last year's Parker's 14-year malt? Jeffrey, I loved it. I thought it was really unique, really delicious. I know it wasn't everybody's favorite. I actually like it better than this year's. This year's Parker's Heritage, I think it's okay. I keep going back to it. It's all right. It's an interesting blend. I think the experimentation part of it is great, and I like what they did with it. But I just don't think it's worth like going crazy and trying to pay all this money for it. I know people are going to buy it because they want to keep their vertical up, but I don't see it as this wildly delicious. I still think that one of the best ones that we've had recently for the Parkers has been the double what do they call it? The double oaked one, double char, heavy char, the heavy charred bourbon, dude. That's still probably my favorite in a little while. But I love that. I like that 14 last year. It was just different in a good way. This year's Parkers or last year's malt? Last year's malt I prefer over this year's Parkers for me. Stone City, what ASM should I try if I've never had one? What would hook me even if I've never had one? Says Stone City. Cedar Ridge. So if you're a bourbon drinker, though, you'd probably want to go something high proof. So Cedar Ridge, American single malt. Westward does a cast strength. I would go for the cast strength. You can get a little more proof, a little bit more punch. Old Line or Del Bach. Those 4, I think, are relatively easier to find. I could tell you McCarthy's, but McCarthy's, most of their stuff is peated. I'm not sure you're going to want to go down that route. But Del Bach, Old Line. Old Line is out of Maryland. Westward and Cedar Ridge, which is out of Iowa. Those are the 4 I would go with. Try their cast strength variants. Some of them are absolutely delicious. Eleven solid. Actually, 11 has this vanilla cookie, biscotti cookie almond note in 4, which I really like. That one might get a 3. As soon as I got that almond cookie, that brings me back to dipping some almond cookie in the coffee. I dig that. Wow. Okay. I mean, it's still pretty light. Westward kind of tastes like weed to me, but if you like that, says Eric Farrar. That's not the first time I've heard that about American single malt. That some people find it a little bit, it gets a little bit herbally, herb. A little herb. Herb is the word if you want to go that direction. I've heard that before. What do you think about Horse Soldier cast strength? I've had some really good ones. Whiskey Nook. I think it depends, but I'm a fan of anything. I'm a fan of most things that they do. To be honest, I just don't have enough of it. I haven't tried enough of it. They were releasing some pretty incredible single barrels last year, the year before. I tried to get in the door to get a single barrel. They were all gone, unfortunately. So, do you ever get an ammonia note on a rye? Says Travis. You know what? I might not have put it to ammonia, but yeah, I think I know what you mean. And if I'm thinking what you're thinking, I would say yes. But ammonia, that's an interesting Yeah. Oh yeah, guys, while you're hanging out, please hit the like button. Appreciate it. 378 of you watching. Malort equals ammonia. Yeah, it's rare that you find. So off rise to me, I get that Sharpie marker note or like a glue note. That's what turns me off to some rise. So that's the ones. I have a Knob Creek Select and it hits hard on the ammonia. On a Knob Creek? Wow, that's interesting. I mean, that sounds like maybe. Do you have cork rot? Did you check the cork? Is there something going on with the cork in there? Well, I know they use, I think, synthetic corks, don't they? That's troubling. Unpopular opinion: barrel aged Malort isn't that bad. I don't think I've had barrel aged Malort, Anthony. Now you have me curious. How about pickle? Yes, pickle I get. I definitely get pickle. More of a dill than a pickle. I generally, the most I get pickle from is Willet, like pickle juice. Somebody in one of the question of the days had an interesting question that if there was a pick I can do that I've never done, you guys will see this on the next video, but spoiler alert. I think it would be probably Willet. It's not for me loving Willet or being really into Willet. I just want to experience a Willet barrel pick and see how it is. Out of all the picks I've never done yet at a certain distillery, I think Willet is the one that's most, the one that I'm most curious about. Because, you do picks at most places and you just kind of like, okay, everybody has their different ways of doing it. But I don't know why Willet is like such an enigma to me on how that pick would go. Hey, listen, if anybody's watching and you know someone at Willet or you have an in for a barrel pick, I would love to do a barrel pick at Willet. I just want to try it once and see what the experience is like. I don't know what it is. I don't love Willet, but I find the whole aura around Willet fascinating. I don't know what it is. So yeah, I would like to try Willet pick. Would love to do one and do the whole and just like experience the whole thing. I think it'd be pretty cool. Okay. Let's go to this bottle here, or this glass, I should say. I'm digging this one. It's a fitting name. Will it be good or not with this bottle? Exactly. Oh, that's good. Holy shit. Number 12. What? Number 12 is delicious. That is caramel corn. That's like Cracker Jack in a glass with a little bit of heat. That's really kind of delicious. Oh yeah. I'm all over that. That is one of the most caramelly forward whiskey like bourbons I've had, especially coming off these others. Dude, that's getting a 4. I don't know what that is, but that is caramel corn heaven. All right. M&J sweater vest rye pick. Yeah. No, I wouldn't say sweater vest, NJ. I would go, what do you call the what is there a name for like the sweater they tie around their neck? When Muffy and Buffy go to the club, that's the one I want. It's Rebel 100. You think it's Rebel 100? If that's Rebel 100, dude, we might find a gem in there. This one's good. I'm digging that one. All right, let's go to 13. cardigan, the cardigan blend. Yeah, I don't mind that. Waistcoat. I don't think that's what that's called, Trav. Trav, next time I see you, I want to see you with a waistcoat. Yeah, 13. Not even going back to that one. That's getting a 2, borderline 1. Blah. Oh, I don't like that at all. That's getting a 1. That's immediately off the map. Not even drinking that again. I need a sip. I hope you review the Sagamore 10. I'd like to hear your thoughts, says Stone City. I tried it very early on in the video. If you go back in the beginning, I tried it, but I have a full review that I'm recording tomorrow, putting it against 8 and 9, and you will see that video. If I'm able to record that tomorrow, I might be able to post it tomorrow. We'll see how the time goes. If not, it'll definitely be Friday. If you don't see it tomorrow, if you see it tomorrow, know that I hustled to get that thing out. But if not, you'll see it Friday. All right, yeah. 13 is out. Let's go to 14 here. Okay. 14. I do not like the nose on 14. I think it's in my head now. I'm like smelling ammonia. Is it ammonia? Jason C., have you tried Penelope Omega? No, I'm getting samples soon. I cannot wait to try those. That Omega one that's finished in the French oak. French oak that's my shit right there. I'm excited to try it. Yeah, that's not great either. Nope. Man, 13 and 14 have been wildly disappointing. Let's go with this last one. So this round has only garnered a few top-notch ones here. Oh, orange. Getting orange in that last one. Citrus, orange. Okay, the last one said, oh, yeah, don't give up on me yet. This one's pretty good. Man, that one's borderline. That one like could be a 3, maybe a 2. Maker's Mark 46 cast strength is wildly unappreciated. I agree, Stone City. I think Maker's Mark 46 is probably the best thing that they make consistently. But I will say that Mocha Lost Stave profile is probably one of my favorite releases they've done in a while. I love that shit. How would you compare your affinity for French oak to Wild Turkey? I still love Wild Turkey more because not all French oak finished whiskeys are great. But if you do it right, man, is it good. Just depends. Depends. I'm going to do a French oak finish for Drum Key at some point, and I'm scared to death because, you have to get good cast. You have to make sure that it's really good quality French oak. You have to do it right. I just want to make sure it's the best thing that I could create. It's tough. You got to let it sit. You got to see what it does in there. That's going to give me agita right there. Rebel 100 for shit whiskey wins in my opinion. I don't know. I think the last one is good. You know what? I do dig it. I'm going to give that a 3. Okay. So what do we have here? So 8. This has a 3, a 3, a 3, a 4, and a 3. So, oh no, that's a 2. Sorry. All right. So the ones that are leaving us definitely are 9. So this is let's see, 7. This is 8. 9 goes over here. This is 10, 11, 12. I really liked. 13 and 14 go over here. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to bring these back in randomly, and we're going to pick the top 4 from what's left here. And we're going to go from there. Now, I think I've only given out 2 4s. And I think I'm gonna have to do a new sheet here because now we're down to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have a top 9. All right. So I'm taking 4. I'm taking the top 4 in here to move on to the next round. This is the one that I think was the high proofer. Hits hard, very sweet. Let's go to this one. I like. This was from the last blind, I think, from the last round. Man, that's good too. I'll say this just as a quick reminder of how good these $30 and under bourbons actually are. They're really solid. I gotta say. Oh, I like this one a lot. That one's definitely staying. Number 3. I think that one's in. That one's got to be in. Let's go to 4. I don't think 4 is going to hold up. As much as I like it, I just don't know if it. These two are really similar. This one's going to be out. That's not holding up. So 6 is out. As soon as I sipped it, it's not holding up against some of these others. Basically, what I'm looking for now is, now that my palate has hit all these different whiskeys, what is the whiskey that's impacting my palate the most? What is still making an impression, giving me flavors, giving me a little bit of depth, as much as my palate can get right now? Let's go here. Oh, this one. This one has like a little bit of that oak funk that I think I tasted before. That one's really good. I think that one's staying for sure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We eliminate 6, 7. I think 7's going to be in the top 4. Let's go here. That one's really good too. And then that last one. No, that's not holding up. It's good. It's like just missing. There's something just missing about that one. So that one's out. Okay. I feel like I have 2 solid choices in here that I like. I got to find 2 more. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is out. And 9 is out. So we have 7 and 8 here. 7 is in, I think, and I think 3 is in. So let's find 2 more here. Jason, are you going to have the winner this week blind and next week's? No. These will be put aside, and then we'll do next week's full blind or the week after, depending on what's going on. We still have that special live stream with Rare Bird I'm working on. We'll see if that happens next week or the week after. It depends. And then the winners of those will go against the winners of these, and then we'll do a full-on reveal. Okay. Mm. 4 and 5. I like 5 a lot. I don't think 4 is making it. Crossing out 4. We're getting down to it here. So 7's in. I'm going to eliminate that, or put it to the side, I should say. 3 is in. Putting that to the side. This is what we're left with here. I think this one's going to be in here. That's good, whatever that is. That's staying. We have 3. We need one more from here. And then we have our top 4, baby. I don't think this one's holding up. It's going to be between these two. It's going to be between these two. Oh, the finish on this one is so good. I think I'm going to give it to this one. This one is so close. Okay. All right. So how do we want to do this? You guys want to find out what got eliminated or just what won? I think just what won will be quicker. So let's find out what I selected. Here's the key. Oh my God, so many whiskeys. Yeah, this is a strong runner-up, this one, whatever that one is. Okay. Let's go to the first. So I do have the bottle cam ready to go. You know, yeah, maybe I'll keep that as a wild card. Whatever that is. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the bottle in front of the camera for you guys to see. Let's see what the top 4 were. First glass is letter O, which was the last one, which goes to, wow, that was I really dug this one. You ready? Here we go. Benchmark Bonded. Benchmark Bonded gets in the top 4. Okay, there you go. Benchmark Bonded makes it the top 4. All right. That's the first one. Second one. Here we go. This is number 4. Oh, no, there's no number 4. What letter is that? Oh, it's the letter J. Sorry, I'm an asshole. This makes sense based on what I tasted. Another benchmark makes the top 4. Are you shitting me? Benchmark Foolproof gets in there. Wow. Okay. So 2 benchmarks make it to the top 4. They can't all be benchmarks. Okay. So Benchmark Foolproof, Benchmark Bonded. I didn't think Benchmark Bonded was going to make it. That's nuts. All right. What are these 2? Letter N. N belongs to. Shut up. I love this so much. Oh, shit. Early Times retaining its crown. Early Times still rang true. So this was the one that I thought had the most oak, the most funk to it. I really dug it. Hell yeah, dude. Early Times coming in hot. Okay. And last but not least, the last one to come in, taken out. Is this going to be, dude, if this is not Knob Creek, what would it be? Oh, maybe it's, oh, this is letter M. Letter M belongs to this bottle. Whenever it's in a blind, always does well. And it's very rarely talked about. Here it comes. Old Forester Signature. What? Are you kidding me? Old Forester signature just took the fourth spot. Dude, what is happening? So my top four are two benchmarks, the early times and the Old Forester. That means, oh wait, I want to find out what was in the runner up here. What was this one? This was letter H. Letter H was the Knob Creek 9. Knob Creek 9 year grabbed that kind of runner-up spot. That made sense. I had a feeling that was a Knob Creek. That was one of those ones that I kind of dug. But yeah, let me go back through some of the other ones that I really did not like. These first three that I eliminated, which I hated. I'll just kind of call them off real quick. Letter G. That's surprising. JTS Brown, Bottled and Bond, didn't do well, which was surprising. Letter I. Wow, the Jim Beam Black 7. I thought that would do a lot better. It didn't. Fell flat. Letter A. How did the Wheel Horse do that bad? I really thought the Wheel Horse would do way better than that. I think it was just a little funky. Something about it. Next one I eliminated. Shit. Buffalo Trace. Gone. Ezra 99. The Beam Winter Reserve. 1792 small batch also went off the board. Rebel 100, Larceny small batch. Yeah. Dude, crazy results. So, after trying 15 different whiskeys, somehow these are the four that stuck out tonight. Early Times Bottled and Bond, still one of the best values in whiskey. The Old Forester 100 proofer is a beast. It's a freaking $26 beast. And then you have the two benchmarks. I'm surprised both of them made it. I had a feeling the full proof would do a little bit better because it's a higher proof. But overall, this was a very, very interesting blind tasting. Next time we do, now the round 2 is going to be way more interesting with Wild Turkey 101, Evan Williams 1792. I'm sorry, 17, what is it? 83, 93, whatever it is in there as well. I mean, some real heavy hitters in the next one, but the Rebel barrel strength, you should blend all the HH bottle and then McKenna and put blend versus McKenna. I'll tell you what, to call it a night, what I'll do here is, dude, these four, the one that's blowing my mind is the Benchmark Bonded. Where in the world, when did that get that good? I mean, against the others, it completely stood out. So let's, if I blend all the ones I kicked out, is it going to make it a better whiskey? I don't think I have enough room to do all this. Patrons, we're going to do an after party tonight. So if you're watching, hang out. This can't be good. I'm just telling you guys right now, this is not going to be great. All right, guys. And with that, we're going to call it a night. Guys, thank you so much for best $30 bottle best bourbon under $30 blind tasting. Hope you guys really enjoyed it. This was really based on your feedback. Guys, love it when you give me some of these cool ideas to do. Glad you guys get to watch me drink 15 different whiskeys and kind of give my feedback on them. But I think we found 4 really good bottles that were $30 and under tonight. Really looking forward to the next round. Guys, if you haven't yet, please hit the like button before you take off. Hit the subscribe button if it's your first time here, or tell a friend about the channel so they can subscribe as well. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share with. Cheers, and I'll see you next week right here on the Master and Drum. And it's not good. It's not good. Until next week. Cheers, guys. I'll see you soon. Take care.